These days, everyone knows that it's important to do the right kind of research before you buy property, while investors are still caught daily by dodgy spruikers who provide all sorts of positive data to support the sale of a property which is likely only good for the spruiker. The average property investor of today is more informed, more well-read, and at least knows the basics about research. Having said that, I still find that many investors don't know how to accurately read the data they uncover, or more to the point, be able to effectively decipher that data. You see, the kind of information that you know about an area in which you're about to buy isn't only important in itself, but it can tell a story when considered in conjunction with other data. Data's like a jigsaw puzzle piece, and it's only when those pieces fit together and complement each other that data forms a complete picture. Not only must you make sure that the infrastructure which is being built is infrastructure which results in growth, but it must also be appropriate for the target demographic, and that demographic must be the one which drives growth. You need to determine whether the infrastructure you're seeing adds to the livability of an area and in itself attracts families to an area, or whether it's something which merely satisfies the needs of residents already there. When you sync the data about infrastructure with other known data, such as demographic data, the importance of a project and its capacity to impact on growth can have a different outcome than you might expect. Let's consider median household income. You most likely know that it's important to see it has increased over time by checking the last few census periods and seeing if the increase in this figure is the same as or more than inflation. If it's more than inflation, this should show that the area has an improving affluence. Shouldn't it? Sometimes yes, but you must also sync that data against other data that you have. Is it a single industry town? If so, perhaps that industry is having a boom which may or may not last. Another important piece of data to check household income increases against is employment data. Look at the number of part-time jobs as at the last census and compare it to this census. Are there less people in part-time employment and more in full-time? Are there less children under 4 and more over? This could be the result of mothers returning to full-time work once their children are in school. And in that case, the improvement in household income is not necessarily on an upward trajectory. It could just be because the area was a first home buyer area and now the families are growing up and people are just going back to work. Look at education levels and demographic mix to help you determine what kind of product is the best to buy. More blue-collar workers or more professionals? More singles or more couples? More families with children or families without children? All these factors determine what property type will be most in demand and will help you to choose a property which always has a tenant. The last crucial piece of data syncing that you must do relates to tenure. What is the percentage of renters to homeowners? Is it higher than the last census? Is it higher than the national average? If it is higher, ask why. Is this because there's more temporary work, or is it because more landlords have bought into the area in recent times, buying out the former first homeowners and creating a temporary glut of rentals on the market? Then go back and check the employment stats. Are more people in temporary, casual or part-time employment? If so, this could relate to the fact that the population is itinerant and so a high percentage of renters is not a good situation. If not, it could be that people really want to live in the area and they have enough work to do, so there are fewer houses available to buy, and so this is a positive situation. Look at values over the last 5 years. Have they risen sharply? If so, then affordability can be the reason for higher renters. And so you can see that knowing the data is one thing, but understanding how it syncs to create a positive outlook and an entire picture is another one altogether. To be an effective investor, you need to go that one step further and actually analyse and sync the research that you do rather than just take it at face value. That way, you can really be that investor who sees into a crystal ball and buys before everyone else realises that they should.